It's quite powerful. Never playing somebody before, it's hard to know how their game feels and how your game matches. But I know there's not a whole lot of room to make mistakes out there. If you don't hit it aggressively enough, he's quite powerful. So I never like playing big servers. I like playing people that hit the ball very soft all the time. I don't care if they're serving or playing a forehand or backhand. The softer the better, as far as I'm concerned.
And it's not fear, Brad, but it's more than a trace of concern in Andre's voice.
Well, you know, there was another big Swede that gave him some trouble, was Tomas Enquist, really cracked the ball. And this guy's actually a bigger version of that. But he's got Andre's respect, and Andre will be ready to go.
And I have to leave you two to go courtside for this match, and I'm looking forward to it because first time they've ever played, and this Johansson is a player for the future.
There's another Johansson, no relation. Tomas is playing right behind us here in show court 3. It's the first set. Maybe you can hear the Swedes who couldn't get into Rod Laver Arena cheering out here. It's
These
Dominic
are the qualifier ones, huh?
Yeah, Dominic Crabati up 3-2 on Tomas Johansson. But time to take it inside to Broad Laver Arena for the showcase match on the men's side today. Joachim Johansson against Andre Agassi to Dick Enberg and Patrick McEnroe.
Thank you, Chris. And of course, 15,000 eager to see this match, and it is going to be a contrast in styles. Johansson leads the championship in number of aces, and of course Agassi leads in running his opponent side to side, and that's what he'll try to do to this young Swede.
Well, he loves to throw body blows down here, Dick, and this service has always been kind to Andre Agassi in that way, allows him time to set up his shots and to really take care of his opponents physically. But Johansson is a guy that just doesn't play that style of tennis. I mean, he can serve, and these guys talked about absolute bombs. And what impresses me the most about him, Dick, this kid has no fear at all. I watched his match closely with Andy Roddick at the U.S. Open. Roddick in the hometown, the favorite, and he just out-Roddick in that 5-set win. And then in that previous match against Lopez, he was down some break points in that 5th set. He just steps up, goes for his shot. So this is the type of player, if he's fresh and healthy, that can really worry Andre Agassi.
Well, and the season is young, but young Johansson is tournament ready. He won 2 weeks ago in Adelaide, and there's another Hewitt connection.
That's right.
Hewitt's sister, Jocelyn, they are now engaged, so the Hewitt clan will be pulling for the 6'6" Swede as we're about ready for that opening ball. The hamstring will be critical. If he isn't 100%, Agassi will take advantage quickly.
You know, it is interesting because you talked about Leighton Hewitt, and he, at this time a year ago, spent a lot of time in Adelaide in Hewitt's hometown practicing with him. I spoke with Joachim's new coach, the Swede Fredrik Rosengren, who's been with quite a few Swedish players over the years, as you see the Swedes getting pumped up. And he said this year in Adelaide, Dick, Leighton didn't want to practice with Joachim anymore. Too much of a threat. Didn't want to deal with him anymore. So interesting, the respect level has really changed, and Agassi knows that as he's ready to start this match.
Yeah, Johansson leaping up the rankings over 100 points. He jumped from a year ago.
Aggravated that hamstring in his win in Adelaide, Dick, and then was actually pulled out of the tournament in Sydney after an opening round win. And when I spoke to his coach, Fredrik, earlier today, he said, you know, it was really just fatigue, just overuse, playing a lot of matches early in the year. But certainly how he's able to move and more importantly serve in this match is going to be the key.
And against Roddick, and defeating Andy in front of the American pro Roddick crowd in New York last fall, Johansson showed that he can handle some rallies as well. His ground strokes are good. Not up to the par of the man he faces today, but you'll see that he's more than just a big server.
Agassi came in. I mean, we almost forgotten about it now, Dick, with some questions about the hip injury that he suffered in the exhibition tournament before this first slam of the year.
Just missed, and Agassi holds it love to open the match. The winner gets the #1 player in the world, Roger Federer, in the quarterfinals.
There was some question about Agassi being able to play at this Australian Open after suffering that injury against Andy Roddick in that exhibition event here in Melbourne. But Agassi took some treatment, took some anti-inflammatories, and was able to get through the first round comfortably. And then he said since then he hasn't really thought about it too much. He feels very comfortable. And as the guys talked about down in the studio, Dick, the warm weather helps Andre because it allows him to loosen up more quickly, and the cold, cool conditions make it a little tougher for him to get that body warmed up.
Look at that remarkable career record here at the Australian Open. 47-4. 4 of his Grand Slam titles right here in Melbourne. First taste of the big serving Johansson.
15
on cue.
And not only does he pack the big heat, Dick, on the serve, but as you saw right there from that serve, he can also hit the corners very well and take speed off of it and create angles with the serve.
That was his 77th of the tournament. He's far and away the leader in aces. Of course, he's played longer matches. You have more opportunity for aces.
Plenty of free points. Sheng Schalken, the veteran from Holland, Vessels, 21 there, and then in the 5-setter, 38 aces for Joachim.
4-hour match, and they set a ATP record in total aces, as you see the forehand of Johansson on the short ball.
32-15.
I mean, this is his 1-2 punch. I mean, if you get the serve back, he's looking for this ball, and he's got a monster forehand. When he's set up, he can hit a winner from anywhere. Of course, Agassi will try to get the big guy out of position, make him hit when he's on the move. And one of the reasons, Dick, why Agassi's been so successful here is because it's more difficult on this slower surface to serve him off the court. You know, as obviously some big servers can do at Wimbledon or the U.S. Open. Last year, how about Safin? To beat Agassi in 5 sets, he hit 30 aces and did not make one double fault in that just outstanding semifinal win for the Russian.
Here's the double fault first for Johansson, and it gives Agassi a chance for an early break.
Not a good sign from Johansson there, Dick, to go for basically a first serve on that second serve. So that sends the message to Agassi that maybe I'm not moving that well. I don't feel too confident in running. See what he tries to do with this second serve. Doesn't look like he's getting up on his serve as well as he normally does either. And yeah, the balance is a little bit off. The movement is not real crisp right now.
Agassi jumps into the 2-love lead.
I think maybe, Dick, from my years watching tennis and playing, the best starter of matches I've ever seen is Andre Agassi. He comes out of the gate so quickly.
Why do you think that is?
I think I know why it is, because when you practice with him, when you step out on the practice court, he's ready to go from the first ball. Uh-oh.
Okay.
You hear Johansson asking, and with that hip injury suffered a week ago in the exhibition against Roddick, that was the immediate concern of everyone.
Well, the thing you got to be careful is when it gets hot on this surface is the players can stick into this surface. It gets quite sticky. But Agassi, when he goes out for practice hits, and of course Brad Gilbert knows this all too well, and coaching Agassi for 7-8 years, there's no, you know, let's hit a couple easy shots, let me just get into it. I mean, he's going 100% literally from the first ball, and I really think that's a big reason why when he starts matches, because he's just used to it. His body's ready to go at 110% from the time he steps on the court.
Sounds like a football or basketball coach. You play the way you practice.
Mm-hmm. You know, some other top players have been a little bit different. I mean, Pete Sampras, maybe wouldn't, you know, in early round matches, he might not bring out his biggest serves early in a match. Boris Becker, I remember, I always thought, hey, I had a chance to break him the first couple of games because he's not going full tilt. Never been the case with Agassi.
Johansson stuck in the corner. Steffi Graf.
Speaking of starting quickly and finishing quickly.
And raising the trophy quickly.
Yes.
22 Grand Slam titles. 30 in the family.
Not looking good for Johansson. They're trying to drop shot there. All signs so far point to him not feeling 100% physically. And Agassi doing his usual textbook start. Yeah, he's barely moving to that one. This could be over real quick.
And not a good sign for the Swedish contingent, but for Andre Agassi, he marches quickly into the lead. Winningest American male ever, Agassi, with 4 titles here, and he's dominated like no one since Roy Emerson back in the 60s when Emmo won 6 times. 30 love now for Johansson at love 3, and there are the all-time winners with Emerson on top and Agassi trying to move into sole possession of second place. Rosewall and Jack Crawford from the 30s also with 4 titles.
A couple of aces to start this 4th game from the Swede, but Agassi jumping all over his second serve. Johansson's yet to win a point when he's had to hit a second serve.
Geared up the big serve to 134 miles an hour. There it is again. While Agassi appearing in his 9th Australian, this is the 3rd trip for Johansson. And he made it to the round of 16 this year, his best show. He retired at Sydney 2 weeks ago with that right hamstring. It had troubled him since the opening match and bothered him against Lopez the last 2 sets. Good slicing ace there for his 4th of the match. He's on the board. Now you know more about this than I, Patrick. Are those the same chaps that were in the Greek colors in the match before? Now they just put a little yellow on there. Now they're going for the.
They went from the blue to the predominantly yellow look. But one thing in common they have, Dick. They're still going for all the beers. They got the beers working up there.
They keep the tank full.
Yeah.
They'll be cheering no matter the score right down to the final point, won't they?
Agassi has not made an error so far in the match. 9 for Johansson.
First ace for Agassi. Easy hold for Andre and a 4-1 lead. Live here on ESPN2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Melbourne. Beautiful day, around 80 degrees, clear skies. They warn us, however, that some heavy heat is on its way, that we might be seeing temperatures up in the 100s before championship weekend. Johansson 1-4. Understand heavy snowfall, blizzards in the Northeast, and cozy up with us here live.
Right.
We've got more. Serena Williams to follow this match on Rod Laver Court.
Get yourself some hot chocolate, and we're not drinking too much of that down here, though. And it's been pretty mild, Dick. As we have one hot day early in the week. Otherwise, it's been mid to high 70s, perfect conditions. But certainly, with the heat coming, that throws a whole nother element into this event. An element, in fact, that Andre Agassi would probably welcome, particularly if he goes up against Roger Federer. If he wins this one, he will.
Spirited hitting on that exchange from Johansson. And his countryman Thomas Johansson, former winner, Dominic Rabati, at 5-all in the opening set.
Both those guys, Dick, coming in after 5-set matches of their own. In fact, Thomas has had a few of them. Johansson looking a little better now.
He holds it, love. Agassi with a 4-2 lead in the opening set, and Pam Shriver has joined us here at Rod Laver Arena.
Well, Dick and Patrick, as you know, with long matches, the extremities, the feet and the hands can just get brutally punished. And I'm looking at the hand, the right hand of Johansson. It's got a lot of tape, a la Bjorn Borg back 25 years ago. And unlike muscles that get warmed up as matches go on, blisters and those hot spots on the bottoms of the feet and the hands, they just can feel more and more miserable as a match wears on. So we'll see how the young Swede handles all this.
You take care of those knees too there, Pam. We're worried about you.
That's right.
Well, I got about 5 layers of sunblock on, and I've got something I can put on here that's even better than sunblock.
She's got the nice Australian lid too.
I like that a lot.
I did see actually in the training room hour or two before the match that Johansson was getting his the bottom of his feet worked on, so he may have some blisters there as well. He's looking a lot better now, though, and let me tell you, not only does he have that power, Dick, off the ground, but he's got a very good court sense as well, and you saw that here. Great power off the forehand. He quickly takes this ball early, and then he plays a little drop shot as Agassi was forced to respect the power, so he was retreating. There you go. I mean, he's explosive.
2 break points with that sizzling backhand return. Johansson at 6-6, but not only powerful, as you pointed out, Patrick, but nimble and good touch.
Wow, that return. Oh, that's a great shot from Agassi. Johansson played it perfectly. Look how well Agassi moves to get into position on this passing shot. Quick little steps. And look at that balance as he rockets it up the line.
Another chance to break back for Johansson.
Tough to get that kick up to bother Johansson at 6'6". There it is. Yeah, you got to get it out of that strike. He's got a big strike zone up there.
And Johansson with the break of the Agassi serve is back on serve here at Rod Laver. Well, Joachim Johansson, after a sluggish start, is awakened. Breaks Agassi and starts this 3-4 game with another ace, his 5th.
Well, oftentimes, Dick, after a tough, long match, you know, the body's quite stiff. So when you get out there, you've had a very easy hit on your off day. And the beginning of matches can be where the body's very stiff, and that's what happened, I think, to Johansson. There's Jocelyn Hewitt, Leighton's sister, and now Joachim's fiancée. That's his coach, by the way, just in front of her, Frederick Rosengren, who's worked with a number of, and this is, I mean, this guy is, I'm telling you, he is very, very dangerous. Rosengren just started working with Johansson in December, and they wanted, Johansson won a challenger event at the end of last year. Then he wins Adelaide. Well, that's a big body blow. So there, as Frederick told me, he says, yeah, we're doing okay. We're off to a good start. We're 14-1 together. And one loss only so far for his young charge.
In Adelaide, he beat Taylor Dent in the finals in straight sets.
Well, one of the reasons, Dick, why he's starting off so well this year is he spent the entire month of December in Adelaide training and practicing, and Frederick said they had a training program. He was back in Sweden, but he said they spoke every day on the phone, and they had a training regimen, a program that they kept up, and then he arrived just after the new year for the event in Adelaide.
Well, Agassi getting a taste of that big serving power of Johansson, who has 7 aces to add to the 76 that he scored in the first 3 matches of this Australian Open. And it appears that he's going to go all out on everything, not just his serve, but he's just taking full swings off both wings.
Well, not only is that smart for him, but it's also smart because Andre doesn't like to play points like that. He wants to rally. So that's going to be part of, I think, Johansson's game plan, is to just tee off when he gets a ball to hit.
Keep the points short, even if you're losing them, knowing that when you get your chance on that service line, that the odds are good for you. So after being broken in his last service game, Agassi holds it love. It's 5-4. We'll be back live at Melbourne Park after this. And to look down at Melbourne Park, a centerpiece there, the Rod Laver Arena, the Yarra River. It was in that body of water that Jim Courier celebrated 2 of his Australian Open titles. Took a dip after the championship presentation. Johansson, ace number 8.
Jim is down here, Dick, doing the commentary for the Australian network, and seems to be enjoying himself back where he had 2 of his 4 Grand Slam titles. The other 2 coming to Roland Garros.
Had an interesting article in the newspaper, the Sunday paper, this morning too, where he recalled his youth days as a 12-year-old player against Agassi and Chang and Sampras and San Diego, the national 12s.
There, it's funny that there he is out. Sometimes he does his on-court interviews after the matches, interviewing Agassi. You know, and Agassi's still older than older than him, and
they've all retired. But
there's Andre, just A-Train, continuing to just confound us all.
He'll be 35 just before Roland Garros in the French Open this year. Andre, the oldest player entered in this championship. And the 9th ace for Johansson sends it to 5-all. He's gotten very tough.
5 games over.
He's moved up quickly at age 22 to be the #1 Swedish player. Pim Pim is his nickname. It's a berry flavored candy, a hard candy that Swedes enjoy.
15 left.
Doesn't seem to fit his style, Pim Pim.
Not too sweet when you're standing on the other side trying to figure out how to get his serve back.
Bam Bam might be more appropriate. Incredibly short each point.
Look at that. That's a great backhand.
30-15.
This is the kind of player that really worries Agassi because he just takes big cuts at the ball. But with all his experience, Agassi, he will certainly look to just focus on his serve games and take care of his own serve. And he's doing that pretty nicely.
That's his second ace. 6-5 on serve, opening set.
Agassi.
It was a grand generation. Everyone worried about what would happen when McEnroe and Connors retired. Well, here they came. Agassi and Sampras. Jim Courier, twice a winner in Paris and twice here. And that remarkable 1989 win by Michael Chang that ended a long drought, the Americans in Paris. Sampras, the all-time Grand Slam winner. Agassi, one of only 5 all-time to win all 4 majors. Courier with 4 slams, and Chang with 34 titles. 89 Roland Garros being the jewel for him.
And Sampras just walked away after that 2002 run at the U.S. Open, beating Agassi in the final. He never stepped foot on a tennis court again. Courier down here doing commentary. Chang retired. And here's old Andre. And he would probably have been the least that you would have expected when they all started to have the longevity with his flashiness and inconsistency early in his career. And now he's the exact opposite.
138-mile-an-hour ace, number 11, and we're a point away from a tiebreak. And one in the Agassi camp would have to be concerned about the tiebreak when a man is seemingly you're defenseless against that serve.
That last serve, another one, Dick, at 138, and he's got the rhythm going. Johansson serving 73% of his first serves in play.
Agassi now starts the tiebreak. Has to feel there's not much room for error here. Oh.
1-0. Johansson.
Look at Johansson stepping in here again. The kick serve gives him no problem because he's so big and tall.
It's right up into his wheelhouse. Yep. Up a mini break on the first point.
Oh, what a second serve. Wow.
2-0.
That was 114 mile an hour hard kick out wide. Agassi's just getting barraged right now. Oh.
3-0. Johansson.
Man, it doesn't look like he's going to miss the serve either. That motion is just as sweet as can be.
Man regarded as good as anyone in returning the serve, and he's been paralyzed here since the early break in this Johansson's first serve game.
Well, that was a short second serve. Agassi got a break there. He may have to think about taking something off his first serve, Agassi, and just spinning it in.
It worked there, didn't it?
Oh. Wow.
4-1.
Up a double mini break.
I'll tell you, when you know you're serving the way he is, you can just unload off the ground. He is full of confidence right now on that serve, the Swede.
13 aces already.
Agassi has no idea where the serve's going either. You can see him just trying to figure out some sort of pattern. Oh, that is just major.
Unloading backhand winners, a clean forehand winner to go with acing power, and they change ends. Johansson up a double break. Pam?
Well, Dick, this is the second straight match for Andre, the one against Taylor Dent the other night, and this one where he has not been able to get into his own rhythm. And it's a tough assignment for Andre, and you can't blame his unforced errors. He has 0 unforced errors so far, and the other night against Dent, he had 2 unforced errors late into a second set. So he's taking care of his business, but you can tell he's just unhappy with the fact there aren't any of those long rallies where he's running Johansson side to side.
And the winner column tells a story. Johansson 27 winners. Agassi 7. Agassi gets one of those mini breaks back.
Well, Taylor Dent rushed Agassi with a serve volley game, but he doesn't have nearly the firepower on the serve as Johansson has. Not to mention off the ground, where he's hit a ton of his winners as well. 12 winners off the ground from the Swede.
5-3.
So even shots like that makes Agassi uncomfortable. Even he won the point, he wants to get into 4, 5, 6 shot rallies.
Now it switches to Johansson's end, and he'll have a chance if he wins his 2 points to take away the set, as Darren Cahill, Agassi's coach, wonder what he's thinking. Service winner, and with it, 2 set points. You nailed it right off the bat, Patrick. That first serve in, it's just almost automatic. You got to hope that he misses. Give you a chance on the second ball.
How about that second ball, huh? What did I tell you? No fear, this young Johansson. It's unbelievable.
Football set for him. 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points, 14 aces. It didn't take long to get 2 games in the bank, although Agassi did have a break point on Johansson's serve to open the set.
And guess what happened?
Ace, and then he aced him right out. 3 aces in that first game to run his total to 17. That's 93 in his 4 matches total. He had 123 in the U.S. in 6 matches. By far and away the #1 acer.
How great is Federer, though? You know, yeah, I'd like to play Andre because it'd be a special. You know, it's just love his attitude. He knows what the fans want to see. He loves to be challenged. But for the moment, Andre Agassi's got a lot of other problems to deal with.
Agassi in his service game held at love. So the pattern continues. Johansson's going to make sure that the points are as short as possible.
I think Brad made a real good point, suggesting that Andre stand back a little bit. But, you know, he's so stubborn, Agassi, and he's always been a guy that stands right on the baseline. He started to change that up a little bit at Roland Garros when he won the French Open in '99. But for the most part, he will not get off the baseline too far. It looks like he's a little bit back, but... And that's why, Dick, one of the reasons why Agassi is very aceable. You know, Pete Sampras was able to ace him a lot. Ivan Isavic, obviously guys with big serves, but it's easier to get that ball out of his strike zone than some other players like Federer that, you know, have a little more reach on the return.
Live from Melbourne, 2005 Australian Open. The round of 16 match between 22-year-old Joachim Johansson and Andre Agassi, extraordinarily popular here, 4 times the Australian champion. Had an early lead, but Johansson broke back and then won the tiebreak to take the first set 7-4. And he's just piling up a huge number of aces and service winners. On serve in the second, 2-1.
He leads by 2 games to 1.
Well, just to go back to that tiebreak, and a sample of why Johansson owns a set lead, doing everything right. Ground strokes, penetrating and paralyzing, and then forehand clean winners. And of course, here's the big gun.
That was second serve on set point at 6-4. You know, most players might think this is that. I better get the serve in. I better, put pressure on the opponent. This guy goes for the clean ace. And here are the numbers. It's just scary numbers. 28 winners from Johansson, just 7 for Agassi. And you see where Agassi, of course, holding the trophy that he's been able to do 4 times here.
And he's been able to hold serve except for that big break at 4-2. He has not lost a point in his 2 service games in this set. And tosses in his 5th ace. So the receiver has not won a point since the first game of the set. Agassi held at love, then Johansson answered at love, and now Agassi again at love.
Andre's back a little bit there on the return. I think he should also stay back there on the second serve too, because his, normally he likes to get inside the baseline, but not up. He's going back. Yep.
He gets a double fold, and Johansson has contributed 3 of those.
And sometimes, Dick, just giving your opponent a different look, just that in and of itself can get in your opponent's head. Agassi way back over here. Didn't bother him much there.
18 aces.
And you see the variety there. He took a lot off that serve, just 117 on the gun, so he's adjusting as well.
30-15.
Of course, that slice serve works better the more your opponent drops off the baseline.
That's exactly right. It's like a pitcher and a hitter. The guy's looking for the fastball. You come inside, and he goes the other way, and you come back with the heat. And Johansson's pitching a perfect game right now.
20 aces. Would you ever have thought? And this is supposedly a slower surface.
Look at that. And Agassi. Oh, I mean, that was a look. Did you see where he was already moving there way before? That's some major frustration there. And Agassi, watch this. This is like that commercial when he rips up with the golf swing. Hits it on the run.
Said enough's enough.
Unbelievable.
But only 1 point to 40-30.
Maybe it rattled him a little bit. It's an old commercial when Agassi took a running start to hit a golf ball and hit it, 250, 300 yards. But this is the other problem against, Johansson, Dick. It's not enough to just get the ball in play, because if you give him something to hit, he'll crank the winner immediately. You've got to put something on the return against him.
Oh, look at that slice serve. That one at only 85. Check that, 107 miles an hour. Yeah, summer heat. Boy, is that appropriate. That's how Agassi must feel. It's Swedish summer heat being thrown at him. No breaks here in the second set.
There ain't been too many meatballs of this Swedes bracket today. 40 winners against 11 for Agassi.
Oh! 25 unforced errors, 1 for Agassi. Johansson is just not going to let Agassi get him in any kind of a rally. He's going to either hit a winner or knock one out.
4-2 love.
That's 11 straight points in this set, won by Agassi on his serve.
Well, you don't expect to be down a set with numbers like this. 75% first serve, 79 on the first, 82 on the second. One unforced error in the match from Agassi so far.
Sixth ace for Andre Agassi, who has gone through 3 service games cleanly without relinquishing a point. 3-all.
We got to speed this thing up to go through the first set aces. I mean, hurry up, guys. There were quite a few of them. Look at how he hits that spot in the corner. That's been a nasty serve for him. Then he brings a lot more heat down the middle.
14 in all in the first set.
This is going to take a while. He can hit that big one out wide as well. Was that all of them, or do we have to stop it?
To be continued.
We had to stop it, yeah. We need a couple points to show all those.
Love 15.
And Johansson cleverly mixing up that slice serve with the big gun. Now at 21 aces.
Just 5 doubles from Johansson. First point of this game, the double, but he comes right back with the ace. 130-mile-an-hour ace, that last one.
They played 53 minutes. Agassi must wonder, how am I going to hit some balls? I mean, he's hit so few balls. Little opening here for him at 15:30.
See, Agassi was looking towards the center serve there, completely fooled.
He was going left there, and you got to guess. Now he gets a second ball. Oh, what an angle. Well, it's easy to describe Joachim Johansson as a big serving Swede and think that that's all the game he has, but he's showing everyone here at Rod Laver Arena that he can beat you with the ground strokes too.
Well, that time Agassi was looking for that wide serve, and he was there for it.
Break point. Had one other in this set in the opening game, and Johansson denied quickly with an ace. Let's see what happens here.
Ooh. That's just the pressure, Dick, of what you talked about a couple of points ago, not having hit that many balls, and then a crucial miss there by Agassi on a second serve at break point.
Agassi has had 2 chances to break in this set where Johansson hasn't won a point off Agassi's serve.
Time for Johansson.
Crushes his 23rd ace. 4-3 in the second. Johansson won the tiebreak in the opening set. Three-time Australian Open winner Mats Wilander, 83, 84, and 88. Enjoying the current #1 player from his country, Joachim Johansson.
He's a Davis Cup captain now for Sweden, and
Love
he
15.
won the first Australian Open played here, that time called Flinders Park, beating Pat Cash in the final. Great final, 8-6 in the 5th.
Line to line.
Well, there you see some of the, I mean, the court sense of this young Swede.
Meanwhile, Thomas Johansson is down 2 sets to Dominic Rabati.
I'm not surprised about that result because Johansson's had a few 5-setters so far.
15-13.
Agassi and a touch of trouble here at 3-4. He had not sacrificed a single point on his serve. 12 straight points won, and then falls down. Love 30, gets one back there. And now an ace, his 7th to 30 all.
Oh, showing his quickness as well, the big man. This could be the biggest point of the match.
Chance to take a 5-3 lead and serve out the set. Oh, he hit it right back to Agassi. And Andre able to thread it down the line.
That's just hustle from Agassi there. Steffi knows he is up against it right now. Johansson was in total control of that rally.
Agassi.
You know, Matt Wielander told me before the match, Dick, you know, I asked him about Joachim and how he thought he was feeling. He said, you know, in some ways it may be good for him because he can relax and just go for his shots if he's a bit tired. Well, hasn't that happened?
So Agassi dodges a break point. 4-all.
4 games off.
Now Johansson will rue that golden opportunity for a 5-3 lead. Did everything but win that point at 3-4. Where's the bad patch though with this kid? Aren't they supposed to have an off game or two?
One bad serving game. He had it. It was the first game of the match.
15 long.
There's your answer. 24th ace. We're live from Melbourne Park, Rod Laver Arena, and Serena Williams meets number 11 Nadia Petrova right after this match.
I was having an interesting chat this morning, Dick, with James Blake, who lost to Hewitt here and is still here playing doubles with Marty Fish, and we were talking about Johansson and from the indoor season last year, early in the year, just after this Australian Open, when he played Joachim Johansson, and he said in the first set he lost it 1 break, 6-4. Johansson hit 12 aces and didn't miss a serve. He didn't miss a first serve.
15.
So one of his coaches that works with him called him and said, oh, you can't lose to a guy like that. You know, he was just making his way up. He said, this guy didn't miss a serve, and he's serving in a 135, 140. And there you go.
4 points in this game, and Agassi hasn't hit the ball yet. 3 aces and a double fault.
And these conditions are a lot slower than conditions in an indoor court.
Yeah,
4 aces in that game. 5-4, 27 total now for Johansson.
5 games to 4.
Well, a man who's used to saying that ball hit the right spot is with Pam Shriver.
That's right, Dick. Phil Jackson, legendary coach. You're down here in Australia for the first time. Great that you have the time to come to your first Australian Open. What about it?
Well, it's wonderful, Pam. You know the people in Australia are friendly, and it's an open atmosphere here. And I've been told by tennis fans that this is one of the best venues to ever watch an Open.
Sure is. Andre Agassi is having a hard time getting into his rhythm. When you're coaching a team that's playing against somebody who's throwing them off their game, how do you get them to play their game?
Well, there's nobody better with focus than Andre. I mean, he's really the master at staying focused. So I think that's his key, is just to stay focused and to wait this guy out, because that's his, he apply his pressure, keep putting that ball back in play like he does, and keep the pressure on him.
Now, I know you're on vacation, but I got to ask you, are your cell phone had any 212 area code phone calls come in?
Time.
No, none from New York, but I'm watching them. I saw they lost a tough game last night, unfortunately, to Houston in the last second. But, you know, I'm watching all my old teams. You know, Chicago Bulls are coming on strong, and the Lakers are managing to withstand without Kobe right now. So the NBA is going on, and I'm off the train right now.
So if 212 rang, you're still watching tennis?
That's right. Enjoying it.
Thanks. What, are you going to be interested in coaching them, or are you not going to, you want to watch tennis?
No, I'd stay out of it.
Okay. Thanks, though.
Not too convinced that Mr. Jackson would totally disengage himself from an offer from the New York Knicks. And seeing him in a Dodger shirt, it'd be an equivalent of Tommy Lasorda in a Laker jersey.
All right.
That's a frightening thought, isn't it? Now Agassi, another Love game, 4 out of 5 at Love in this set to battle back at 5-all.
5 games all.
Well, usually up there in that sort of area where we just saw Steffi Graf sitting, that's sort of the player section. They reserve seats there for players and friends of the players, and there's normally a lot of seats available there, Dick. I don't see too many seats up there today. This place is jam-packed. Look, even Darren Cahill's got to sit next to fans up there, the coach of Andre Agassi.
Caught the line.
15 love.
Look who's sitting next to Killer up there. There's not too much room to breathe up there. I mean, we've got the Zen master in the crowd, and we got the old Zen master on the court now.
Immensely popular, this Australian Open Championship. 60,000 here yesterday, largest ever at any major, any time. There's the touch.
I mean, it's remarkable what Johansson's able to do. Pretty nice looking sky there. Agassi way back behind the baseline, just stabs it back, exactly what we said he should be doing, but Johansson then comes up with the drop shot. He's just got the answer to everything right now.
He certainly has penetrated the return armor of Agassi. 28 now aces. Everyone ooh and ah the other night when he had 38, but that was in 5 sets. 28 against Agassi in 2 sets. Looks as if they're headed for another tiebreak. Yeah, the national, the face of this country is smile, and everybody seems so happy. Tough to smile for the man serving right now. He's got a battle to get into a tiebreak where his opponent took him out 7 points to 4 in the first set. Taste of his own medicine. 9th ace for Agassi.
Oh.
30-15.
So explosive, Johansson, even at full stretch.
40-15. Let herself.
Just long, and another tie break to settle the set.
Second set, tie break.
Well, each man had a chance to break in the set. Agassi had 2 break points, and Johansson 1, neither able to convert. Now sudden death.
Johansson got off to a quick start in the first set tiebreak with the winner on the return of serve. He starts off the second set with his 29th
In 2 sets.
in 2 sets. Not even done yet.
And one wonders now in the tiebreak if Johansson will go all out on every ground stroke or whether he'll
Good
try.
point. Very good point, Dick. I think he'll play a little safer because the pressure now is on Agassi. Went for the winner there.
Agassi.
Watch Agassi as he sets up to return, how he's been forced with Johansson's serving prowess to guess and hope that he guesses right at least once here for a mini break point. Look how much deeper he is.
He's way back now.
He was going right and the ball was going the other way. Take a picture of that. Agassi right in the shadows, that deep. You can see him play a lot of matches and never come close to being that far behind the baseline.
And if Agassi stays way back there, you look for Johansson to slide it out wide. Look at Agassi. Wow. Oh, when he goes up to tee, he's just, I mean, you can't get in this guy's head at all.
30th ace. Agassi has 10. Johansson going for the world record.
3-all.
Well, you can hear this 15,000 at Rod Laver Arena, who they're cheering for.
And apparently so is Roger Federer. At least that's what he told us. He may not want to see this guy serve in the quarterfinal match. He's won easily today, so he's waiting for the winner of this one.
But didn't you think that that was more Roger saying that just in the spirit
Like
of the sport,
occasion?
Agassi's the champion and he respects the history of the game. And
I think so.
He likes to play history.
Thank you.
Every point now is delicately important. Agassi.
Agassi.
4-3. Tennis genes in this young Swede. His dad played Davis Cup for Sweden. Leif Johansson. The Borg era. In fact, the kid, when he was a young teenager, Joachim hit with Borg. There it is, a first mini break. Agassi with a 5-3 lead. Live from Rod Laver Arena. Exclusive coverage here on ESPN2. Dick Enberg with Davis Cup captain Patrick McEnroe, Andre Agassi, the People's Choice down under. After losing the first set tiebreaker, 7-4, has the lead here in the second breaker.
Well, Agassi got what he needed there. Mats Wilander cheering on his young charge, but he got 1 point, and now he's got 2 serves coming with a chance to close out this tiebreak.
2 set points for Agassi.
Flat. No, sir.
4 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday, midnight in New York. Pleased you've stayed up with us. Tense round of 16 action. Hewitt Light, come on, as Johansson clips the line with that backhand and gets the mini break back. What a shot.
And that, Dick, is his first backhand winner in this set.
Another set point for Agassi, but Johansson serving. And we've got a ball game, a set all.
Agassi. Only 7 games to 6. 1 set all.
In the meantime, what do you expect in set number 3 inside Rod Laver? You don't think Andre's moving very well.
Yeah, he looks a little step slow today, but the one thing that Andre wants to do is be able to move Johansson a little bit. But Johansson refuses to be moved. Immediately when he's stretched on one ball, he just loads up and throws a haymaker. So, and he's rattling Andre because there's no rhythm to this match. He's withstood 30 aces. Richard Krajicek's record of the 99 Open, which he lost, is 49, is in jeopardy today.
This match is going to go at least 4 sets, which gives Johansson a chance at that world record. Agassi's like Marvin Hagler. I think Johansson's playing like George Foreman. He's playing like a heavyweight. You can see Agassi the hold to begin the 3rd set back at Dick Patrick.
15 long.
All right, gentlemen, Agassi holding at 40-30, and Patrick McEnroe, as Davis Cup captain, seeing his players do so well, he threatens to chest bump me right after this match.
We're doing such a good call, Dick. I'm going to chest bump you.
Long.
That was a heck of a comeback by the Bryan boys there. They lost in the final of this tournament last year. So they move into the quarters.
4 too long.
Number 31 for Johansson.
Again.
32, only 17 behind Krajicek's ATP record. Let's go down to Pam Schreiber.
Well, Dick, I'm with Patrick McEnroe's counterpart on the Swedish team, Mats Wilander, captain of the Davis Cup team. First off, Andre Agassi's having a hard time getting into the rhythm against your guy. You know what that feels like. It's terrible, isn't it?
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, he lost the first set 7-6, and he had no unforced errors at all. Andre, I saw up there on the board. So, yeah, I mean, Joachim is serving unbelievably well. I think Joachim is a little tired from the other day, but we've realized that it actually makes him serve better. He relaxes his legs a little more, and he gets higher up. He's not so fast in the beginning of the serve.
Now, I know Frederick is his full-time coach, but did you have a few words with him on Pim on the way out here?
No, I had a few words with Frederick, actually.
And they were?
Well, I think that once you get the rally going, you don't want to give Andre any angles. But Pim is hitting the ball so hard, and I think Andre has never moved that well. And I don't think he's moving that well. And he likes to pick his corners, Andre, and really anticipate. So Pim said before that he feels that it's easy to ace Andre because he picks a side so quickly.
Well, now, you had quite a few battles with Andre in the late 80s, early 90s. Obviously a different kind of match. And you said Andre's a lot fitter now. But what about playing Andre that's so tough?
Oh, it's so tough because, I mean, you get into a certain rhythm, but you really don't feel like you're hurting him at all. The ball just keeps coming back at the same pace pretty much, and I think why Andre is still able to play is that he's actually changed that a little bit, and he mixes up his serve a little bit, and he throws up a high backhand once in a while, but he's just so tough because he doesn't show any emotions, and he just keeps going about business. And I mean, Andre is one guy that can actually, you know, dig himself out of a match like this because he has rhythm. It doesn't matter how much rhythm you give him, he always finds it somehow.
Well, you dug yourself out of quite a few matches as well. International Tennis Hall of Fame member Mats Wilander, thanks very much.
Thanks, Pam.
Dick?
Thank you, Pam. Great to see and hear Mats Wilander, one of the most intelligent players we ever watched. Boy, could he orchestrate a point. He had a game plan. You could see the way he talked, thinking in terms of a coach player in Johansson's stead.
Agassi leads by 2 games to 1.
The big draw board outside Rod Laver with the defending champion Roger Federer, who is through in straight sets today into the quarterfinals and will meet the winner of this match between Joachim Johansson, 22-year-old Davis Cupper from Lund, Sweden, makes his tax home in Monte Carlo, and Andre Agassi, the number 8 seed, 4-time champion here. 1-2. Johansson serving at 1 set all.
It's interesting to hear Matt say that, you know, Johansson said coming in that he thought Agassi was easy to ace, and he certainly, so far, at least with his serve, has been right about that. And Agassi trying to change that up, always trying to figure out a way to get in the match, and that's why he's so far back. And look how Agassi's changed his position. Our shot spot can also show you his return of serve, where he's making contact with the ball. And look how he's right close to the baseline. This is in the first set, and then the second set. Look at the adjustment Andre making, and you also notice that when he does move back, then Johansson's serving wide more often,
As he attempted there. First meeting between these two, the elder statesman Agassi, more than 12 years the senior of Johansson. Rabadi is through in straights over the number 30 seed, Thomas Johansson, former Australian Open champion.
ran out of steam.
He sure did, didn't he?
3 5-setters in a row. Her body is very dangerous. He'll play the winner of the Safin Olivier Rokas match, which is coming up a little bit later.
Well, that's a David and Goliath match, isn't it? Well, that's the 32nd ace for 33rd now for Johansson, and Andre Agassi was asked by the press about his opponent today, and not having played him, this was his response.
Again, there's a lot of sort of guesswork involved when you never played somebody. Really, there is, but you know, he has one of the biggest serves and biggest forehands in the game. I mean, there's no question about that. I don't have a good sense for his movement. I don't have a good sense for his backhand. I don't have a good sense for his volleys. I don't have a good sense if he likes the ball up high or if he likes the ball low. I have to sort of assess from what I see and then be able to make adjustments. And hopefully I can give him a few things to worry about too, and we can call it even.
Oh, what a way to finish the interview. Call it even. How about 1 set all, 2 games all, 15 all?
Well, I can tell you one thing, the high ball doesn't bother him at all. But that's what can bother him. He's got to stretch him, and Agassi going through that process right now, and we've seen in the way he's changed his position on the service return. He is taking a little off that first serve to try to get more of those in. This is where he's in trouble when he gives him something to hit. That's a great second serve.
Actually had more pop in the second serve than the first. Exclusively live here on ESPN2. The East Coast has joined us. It's Sunday after midnight and Sunday afternoon 4:15 in Melbourne. As Agassi with his second double fault. 40-30.
A lot of concern for this man, Darren Cahill, Agassi's coach.
Agassi holds on serve in the third. This match level at a set all.
Agassi leads by 3 games.
Against big serving Nadia Petrova, very athletic, and one of the 7 Russian women in the top 20 in the world. Wearing out our abacus with those aces mounting for Johansson.
Well, obviously this has been part of the game plan. You heard Mats Wilander say, you know, Agassi not particularly quick. I don't know if I completely agree with that, but Johansson has certainly used that drop shot successfully when he gets Andre way out of position.
Ooh, that one almost clipped our chair umpire, Carlos Bernardes. High and inside there, Mr. Umpire. Chin music. Easy hold for Johansson. 3-all.
Throws in a little change up there just to keep Agassi honest.
Skyline of Melbourne through the roof. Beautiful 80-degree day. Took a little walk over in that Fitzroy Park next to our hotel.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
City of parks here, isn't it? It's beautiful. Like botanical gardens just across the Yarra River from Melbourne Park. Oh.
Stretching forehand reply from Johansson. Very much in control of himself. He's got that Swedish ice flowing through his veins.
You just can tell that with Agassi, there's just no room for error for him. There's no way for him to breathe, to get into any sort of rhythm. Johansson just throwing just blow after blow again. And that's not the kind of tennis that Agassi likes to play. And in my mind, he's doing a heck of a job staying in this match right now, Agassi, because this match is being played on Johansson's terms.
And here's a chance at 15-30 in a second ball for Johansson. Ooh, he's going all out, do or die. No let up in Johansson.
Look how different it's been. In the first 3 rounds, Agassi was averaging a little over 4 shots a point. Now just 2.5.
Look at that save. And then he fires long on the forehand. Well, against Roddick, he showed New York and the U.S. Open crowds how together at such a young age Johansson is. Misses there, but that's how he's going to play it. That's obvious. Still on serve in the third. Back at Rod Laver Arena here at Melbourne Park. 15,000. And they make only about 12 of those Swedish snowbirds, but they make enough noise to represent a core much larger, and they've had a lot to cheer about as they've boosted Joachim Johansson. Set all, now serving at 3-4 in the third.
Oh,
That's number 35. The most Agassi has ever been aced was Australian Mark Philippoussis. That was at Wimbledon 2 years ago. 46 aces for Philippoussis, and as we told you, the record is Krajicek 49. That at the U.S. Open.
that was the year Philippoussis made the Wimbledon final, losing to Federer. By the way, that last second serve on the first point as you go through the aces, 17, 21, 38 against Lopez, now up to 35. I mean, he hits a second serve 132 miles an hour.
Apparently Agassi will have the largest total at the end of this match, and if you gave someone those four names, said which one had allowed the most aces, you wouldn't guess Agassi. It's a break there as Johansson clips the top of the net. 30-15.
Part of, to me, what's intimidating about Johansson, Dick, is his attitude. I mean, he never looked. I mean, even that shot there, that was a sitter. It was on top of the net. He missed it. He just took the ball and sort of played with it. Just, he doesn't care. And when you see that coming from your opponent, you just, you know, it's going to go along with his game. It's intimidating. Could turn out to be a pretty important swing, though.
Yeah, better circle that 30 love point. Now at 30 all. Couple of errors from Johansson. But he hasn't erred much on that service line. 35 aces, 6 double faults. He just knew it was coming.
You know, Agassi's been through situations like this, whether it's on a fast indoor court or certainly at Wimbledon. And that's very much the tone of this match. Just dealing with 1-2 opportunities a set.
Well, you mentioned Wimbledon. With this kid's the big service game, well, he's going to be a factor, isn't he?
Oh, yes.
Oop. Number 7. That double gets it back to deuce.
Overpowering with that forehand. I'm a little surprised, Dick, that Agassi's come back forward on the return of serve. It's gotten him. See, there he is there. He's come pretty close there, but on the second serve, he came way in on that last deuce point. That's where Andre struggles. You see Johansson making a move quickly to that forehand corner.
North Carolina, available in high definition on ESPN 2 HD.
Please.
Dead even. 4 all in the third.
15 love.
Not a break point in the entire set. We headed for a third consecutive tiebreak.
Lat person.
Second serve ace for Agassi. Lucky 13.
Been a great serving day for Agassi. 72% percentage. He's only got 23 less aces than his opponent.
But he's committed only 6 unforced errors.
Amazing.
Serving first, Steffi Graf's husband stays in the lead on the scoreboard.
Agassi leads by 1 game to 4.
Rod Laver Arena cruising toward a third tiebreak. Johansson won the first, 7 points to 4. Agassi answered 7 points to 5 in the second. 4-5.
Thank you. Thank you.
Steffi Graf, who showed so little emotion when she was on court, holding it in as she watches Andre. Hall of Famer, Golden Slam winner.
Now proud mother of 2 children.
Terrific family.
Also has won this event 4 times.
Yeah, when they shout 4 in the Agassi family, they're not playing golf. They each have 4 titles here at Melbourne.
Showing some defensive work there, Johansson, but Agassi's got to take advantage of those chances on second serves when he gets in the rally. As you see him taking a deep breath, he knows that he's not going to get that many chances. Now he's standing further back on the second serve. I like that move better from Agassi. It just gives him a little extra time. I also like it when he has a chance to get the ball up a little higher on the return, get some more depth, a little more height. Because the ball, if he doesn't get it high, gets in the strike zone of Johansson, he can hit the winner immediately. That's a good return. He gave him a little extra room. Great depth, and Johansson not moving too well to that one. Couple of monster points now.
Swung him wide.
That serve is so nasty, Dick, because it's so short. It lands so short in the box. And with his height at 6'6", he gets so much angle. Just cutting away from Agassi. Oh, wow. Just grip it and rip it.
5-all in the third.
5 games off.
Frederick Rosengren now, he's even got a little smile. Yeah, my guy just, that's why we drew it up on the chalkboard. Just take the hugest swing you can at it. Look at this serve, Dick. Look where this serve lands. Agassi trying to read it, not moving at all. You see, he can't read it at all. Look how short it lands. Almost impossible to stretch out to get that one back.
Yeah, 5 yards outside the doubles alley before he could make contact. Well, this is building in intensity, knowing that one shot could well decide a set.
Well, to take an analogy from a sport that you just spent quite a few months on, Dick, in football. You know, Johansson, when he steps up to the line and serve, he takes what the defense gives him. You know, when Agassi moves way back, he works the angles. If he stands right up on the baseline, then he looks to bring the heat. He brings the power.
But on Agassi's serve, he's going for the bomb.
Yeah, there's no questions there.
He's not running many off tackle plays for a couple yards, is he? That's Agassi's 24th winner with only 7 unforced. His opponent has committed 50 unforced errors, and yet this match absolutely level.
40-15.
Well, Mats Wilander said he thinks his guy is a little bit tired, so here's what you do. Just step in, go for the clean winner. Will he do it again at 40-30? Oh. That's great play from Agassi. Oh, what a rally.
Agassi leads by 6 games to 4.
Slam season will attract well over 500,000 again this year. Many of them Americans, including former NBA coach Phil Jackson. Serena Williams, any of you tuning in to watch her, she's moved quickly through to the 4th round and will engage Nadia Petrova. That'll follow this match. Two points from a tiebreak, and that is number 37. That matches his ace total against Feliciano Lopez in 5 sets in the last round.
Joachim Johansson. 6 games all. 3rd set.
And now
Tiebreak.
at 1 set all into a 3rd consecutive tiebreak as they squeeze the pressure into 7 precious points. First to 7 by 2. Agassi opens.
1-0 Agassi.
Would you like to lead off in a tiebreak? Serve first?
Prefer to serve first, yes. You get that first point, and then if you get one of those next 2, you can open up a lead. It's tougher to come back in a tiebreak, I think, than
There's the mini break for Agassi. Handled a 120-mile-an-hour second serve. And once into a rally, then one would have to favor Agassi's chances. Just missed.
You guessed right, Agassi, on that return. Watch where Agassi moved. He up just over the baseline, confirmed by shot spot. Thought we were going to see the Agassi return, but he moved immediately to cover that serve down the middle.
Well, in the 2 previous tiebreaks, the man who took the early lead held for the set.
Wow! That's the first point he's played like that in the match. He used a slice, realizing how crucial these points are in this 3rd set tiebreak, And then he just absolutely unloads on that one.
Batting practice swing. Agassi with the ace, his 14th. But that backhand winner from Johansson has them even as he goes to the service line. Each with an early mini break.
Both players have lost just 2 points when they've gotten the first serve in this entire set. Oh, did he miss it?
3-all.
Well, called good.
3-all, they'll change hands. Agassi made him work for it. Let's go down to Pam Schreiber.
Well, Dick, a little reminiscing to 3.5 years ago, the last time I recall Andre Agassi starting a major match with 3 straight tiebreak sets. That was, of course, quarterfinal against Pete Sampras. That actually went 4 tiebreak sets, Sampras winning in 4. Sampras, of course, known as the power player of his generation, all-time great. It's amazing how with each generation in the men's and women's game, the power players just up it another level.
Yeah, that's interesting information. There is a connection. .39 aces for Johansson. 10 behind the record of Krejcik. But a good return by Agassi, and he gets that mini break back. Neither man showing any emotion since the start almost 2 hours ago. I mean, Agassi doesn't offer much even facial expression, and this kid the same. Each man with 110 points in the match. Three set points now for Andre Agassi. Johansson will try to keep it alive. The old man, almost 35, but boy, does he play the spirit of youth, and obviously to the delight of this sellout 15,000 at Rod Laver Arena. He's moved into the lead 2-1.
Did you know something, Dick, about how this match was going to go? I think at every little step, I mean, the way Agassi has handled this match sort of epitomizes where he is now. I mean, he hasn't gotten rattled. He's stuck with the game plan. And he's just continued to pick away, making just 7 unforced errors this match.
And Johansson, perhaps discouraged after dropping that tie break and sacrificing the lead, double faults to start the 4th set. And I don't know how you felt, but throughout that 2nd set and into the 3rd, you just had the feeling that Andre was biting off too big a chunk today. Johansson just played so well.
I think Dick, in this match, Andre's using all of that experience and all of those matches he played against Sampras, and that Wimbledon final against Ivan Isavic, which is a similar type of affair. And he's handling the situation now. He expected something like this. I don't think he could have expected exactly the way this match has played out, because it's been just a remarkable display by the Swede. But look, he just continues to scrap, get his racket on that return. And this is an opportunity now for Agassi to open this match wide open if he can sneak an early break.
Into the third hour, 2 hours and 2 minutes of play. And for the fans of tennis, great to see another new face and a new talent. Joachim Johansson, who has just streaked up the rankings. Was in the hundreds a year ago and moved all the way up to the top 15, and now the 11th seed, and showing why. He won't get many serves like that, will he?
Missed opportunity there for Andre. But again, he doesn't let these things rattle him, and he doesn't let it affect the way he plays the next point. He moves right on.
Johansson, despite the disappointment after losing that third set tiebreak and double faulting to open this opening game, able to hold. Fans out in the garden trying to find a spot. It's jammed in front of that giant television screen. And it's a good place to go out and get would you have a longie or a stubby if you were having a tinny right now?
I'll be a longie after this match.
Yeah.
Well, the one part of the Johansson game, Dick, that's lacking, and the obvious is the inconsistency, but he doesn't look to come in that much to net at all. He's only been in 17 times. He likes to take those big cuts off the ground, but I think he'd be well served to work on a little chip and charge part of his game, particularly on the second serve return. He could chip and charge, he could shorten some of the points, he could throw another wrinkle into his game. Agassi's been in just 5 times. Obviously, he doesn't need to get in this matchup.
Oh. 100% on every swing. Nails the forehand to 30 all. There has not been a break of service since the 7th game of the opening set.
50 more winners for Johansson.
Another winner for Agassi on his 15th ace. Agassi barely hitting the baseline the shot before he dumps that backhand. And now Johansson to get to deuce for either man. Either returner is amazing, but he's unable to take advantage. Took another healthy cut though.
I mean, maybe there, do you temper it a little bit, Dick? Do you try to maybe make the return there and Instead of going all out.
He hasn't altered his plan.
No, I guess not. That answers that question. It's more compact, Johansson, on the backhand side on the return. The forehand, bigger swing at the ball, more errors. Agassi was going there, but just his third double fault of the match.
It gives Johansson a break point. Misses again. There it is. Johansson with the early break here in the fourth, to the delight of his vocal supporters.
2 games to love.
Reminder, Sunday, don't miss the season premiere of the PGA Tour on ABC Sports. Down the road. Yeah, just down the road. It's a wonderful course. It's going to be the host of the U.S. Open in a couple of seasons.
Oh.
Pretty tough to deliver when you're way out there and way up there.
Oh, that was a great return. Watch how much ground Agassi has to cover. Look at the little steps.
The lob. Let's go down to Hall of Famer Pam Shriver.
Well, Dick and Patrick, 48 hours ago, just about, Joachim Johansson began a almost 4-hour match where he was down 2-1, ended up winning the 4th set 7-6 and the 5th set 13-11. So after being down 2-1, he played 37 more games, 2.5 hours to defeat Feliciano Lopez. Now, I understand Andre Agassi ain't no Feliciano Lopez, but it gives you a little bit of the character of this Swede. Now that he's up a break in the 4th, he still believes he can win. Now, whether or not he has the juice to do it, we'll find out. But this is fascinating down here.
It is indeed. Thanks, Pam. Agassi, though, has a chance here at love 30. And love 40 and 3 break points.
Agassi comes right back after a couple of loose points to lose his serve. And 2 absolutely beautiful forehand cross-court winners.
There hasn't been a twitch in that ace column for Johansson for a while. Still at 39. Now he needs it most of all.
15 and 14.
Me and my big mouth.
You asked for it, you got it. He's definitely not hitting as many in the last set and change than he did in the first 2 sets when he hit 30 aces in the first 2 sets. But comes right back with 2.
And at 138 miles an hour. Big point.
Oh.
Trifecta.
Wow.
That's really digging out of a hole in a hurry. Becker-like. Interesting to study that as any player, how he waited, stayed behind the ball, and then when it bounced, moved up on it to position.
Got the best of all worlds there. Agassi won the point, and he made Johansson cover a lot of court.
Fourth break point.
Hoping that those kind of moves can take some of the power away from the Swede. Cut those legs down a little bit, maybe affect that serve.
And Agassi breaks back. Fair to show you summer pictures like that. We're just suffering through this wonderful warm weather.
Thank you.
And hopefully that storm in the Northeast has moved through as well. Andre Agassi able to answer the Johansson break of his service and get back on serve at 1-2. He thought he had an ace.
15 love.
I think Agassi is reacting much better to the Johansson pace now. He seems to be more keen. He's ready for those big power blows from the big Swede. Agassi wants the ball kid to go back.
He wants it. Wherever they start, that's where Agassi wants it. And Johansson confused that young lad because he wanted him behind
to stay.
him.
Maybe he just wants to do something different than Agassi.
Yeah, you're hearing the grunting. That's gone up, hasn't it, on Johansson's end?
And it's even at that point, Agassi right on top of the baseline, really exploding side to side.
Oh! Okay, you describe it.
Well, you know, I've only seen one guy be able to hit a shot like that. I've now seen two because Federer can do it now, but I can see the swinging volley from the baseline off the shoelaces. I think his antennas are up now, don't you, Dick?
That was. Oh, and a soft little backhand that may have not been struck exactly how he intended, but it's a good result.
Game Agassi.
2-all.
Two games up.
No singles titles after 30. And Rod Laver with 44. Rosewall 29. Played into his 40s. Arthur Ashe, Connors, and Agassi 14. '59 career titles for Andre Agassi.
He'll turn 35, Agassi, in April. Comes in this year to the season and to this first major, and according to Gil Reyes, his trainer, the best shape he's ever been in.
Well, he looks it, doesn't he?
He's lost about 10 pounds. I know. Stay lean, take a little pressure off that hip, keep his quickness as good as he can.
15 all.
Pim Pim with his 43rd.
All to try to keep up with guys like this. Of course, Roger Federer, the man at the top of the list.
30-15.
5 from the all-time record. And Roger Federer in his lounge chair enjoying this action as he will play the winner in a couple days. Longest rally of the match, and Agassi prevails. Joachim taking a little more time at 30-all. And here's a dangerous spot for Joachim Johansson. Broken in his last service game, and now another break point staring at him. You think back to how he almost dug out at love 40 and 3 quick aces, and it looked like it had turned for him, and Agassi able to find a way.
And so many players, Dick, would be so flustered by this style coming at them, but Agassi has stayed the course.
Sent him the kicker, and Agassi couldn't quite get the center of the racket on it.
103 miles per hour, but as you said, Dick, a lot of action on that ball, and it just jumped up high on Andre. Slightly mishit it.
He's getting more and more second serves. How about that balletic return?
Off a 128-mile-an-hour second serve. And that's the adjustments that Agassi's making. He's prepared now. He's ready for those type of serves that come at him on second serves.
Johansson in this set, 48% first serves. And he gets that one in for his 45th ace.
Big smile from Johansson to his box up there. That one was just 100 mile-an-hours on the first serve. He seemed to really enjoy that one. Ace number, what, 45.
And 46 is quickly follows.
3 away from tying the record set by Richard Krajicek at the 99 U.S. Open.
That was in 5 sets in a match that he lost to Yevgeny Kafelnikov.
Philippoussis had 46 when he beat Agassi at Wimbledon in their round of 16 match. 2003.
Well, Johansson has equaled that mark. And now a point for 3-2 in the fourth.
Oh, no, that's first little mental chink in the armor. With his coach there on the right, Frederick Rosengren, a little smirk there. That was not a smart shot at all there from Johansson.
But Agassi not only getting more second serves, but has been able to time that first serve here. At 2-1.
Oh, yes.
There's the break.
Boy, did he measure that beautifully.
Backhand winner in the lead. 2-1, and up a break now in the fourth. Rod Laver Arena. And there's the bust of the fabulous rocket. twice a Grand Slam champion.
Our Pacific Life between the lines. What a match this has been. Johansson starting off with the power game, winning the first set in the tiebreak. Of course, the aces have come in record numbers, almost. He's close to breaking that record with 46 now, but Agassi staying the course, counter-punching. Only 12 unforced errors from Agassi, and now in this fourth set, the backhand winner down the line. Agassi now in control. Our Pacific Life between the lines, upper break here in the fourth.
And he won the first point of this game.
Oh, look at him go.
I didn't know where Johansson was, had his back to him and hit it right to the Swede.
Agassi is moving as well as he's moved in the entire match now. And despite losing this point, you can be sure that the Swedes taking no. Oh!
15-13.
Clean winner off the return.
That was a huge point. The last one for Johansson, who was in trouble defensively, kept alive, and then got the break when Agassi fed him the ball at the net. Now 15-30. No feed there.
Agassi moves up into the court so well. He's so quick. Watch how quickly he gets to this ball to give himself a pretty easy shot. He catches it pretty high, and that allows him to go up the line into the open court. If you're a little hesitant, a little sluggish getting to that shot, that's a very tough shot to handle.
Trying to protect that lead here in the fourth set. And a game point now for 4-2. Two games from a date in the quarters with Roger Federer. And here is the scoreboard since 1991. That's because that's when the ATP made it an official statistic. Krajicek 2 ahead of Kürten and 3 ahead currently of Joachim Johansson. Even Istovic and Philippoussis also with 46.
What name doesn't belong in that group? Gustavo Kürten at 47. I got to find out what match that was. Wait a second.
That certainly wasn't on clay. Could it have been?
I didn't think so.
Miss him. He's had more surgery. Kürten hopefully will return to the circuit.
Oh, that was in a Davis Cup match. Our guys in the truck are telling us in Canada. Okay, which is lightning fast in altitude. So that explains that one. I might have been able to hit 10 aces on that environment.
Yeah, it's a Himalayas, huh?
Yeah.
.47. 48. And apparently he's going to get a chance to serve even another time, regardless of what Agassi does in his service game.
Ball 315.
That's now two full sets of aces.
So it's Australian Open history.
Young.
4-3. Agassi leads in the fourth. 2-1 to Agassi. He loves it down under. This court suits his game so well, and of course it loves the hot weather. 4-3.
Well, Johansson with a little jog to the sideline after he held serve in that last game, so trying to let Agassi know that he's got something left in the tank.
And hamstring concern after his last match certainly hasn't been a factor today. That is his 66th unforced error. His opponent has committed only 12. And registers his 16th ace. That's a pretty hefty total for Andre.
That's a very good number for him. He's won 80% of the points on those first serve when he's gotten that in play. Another good one there. Sets up the easy forehand. Still, Steffi liked that combination. A good serve and the forehand winner. On her way to winning this title 4 times.
Couple of points now for 5-3. And so it is. A game away from the quarters.
Agassi leads 5 games to 3.
Still not breathing easily, is she?
No.
Now Johansson, one of the pieces of this drama. Will he set the all-time ace mark? Needs 2. Aha.
15 lost.
And I really think, Dick, that the last piece of the puzzle for Johansson is to come forward more, because he's shown very good hands around the net. You saw them there. Imagine if he starts to impose himself at the net with a little more regularity. What ties the record? 49 aces.
We're pleased you're sitting in live from Melbourne on some tennis history.
And there it is.
50 aces for this 22-year-old Joachim Johansson. Now that's the most since '91 when it became an official statistic. Hard to imagine too many instances where that might be challenged going way back through the books. Just for Vischer. Good Vischer, 51. But when we return, Andre Agassi serves for the quarterfinals. Back with the 15,000 at Rod Laver Arena. It's been the match of the championship thus far. Andre Agassi now serves for victory. Needs 3 more points. Joachim Johansson making a statement, and a name will be following for years to come if he stays healthy.
Well, even somebody yelling in the middle of the Agassi serve from the crowd can't disrupt the focus and concentration of this man, Andre Agassi. It's been a remarkable mental display and a good job by the umpire to make an announcement. Even though you see the Swedish guys, even they're yelling at them to be quiet.
Fans eager to cheer an Agassi victory, aren't they?
Thank you. Agassi. 3-7, 6-7, 7-6, 7-6, 6-4.
34-year-old Andre Agassi. Thumbs up from Coach Darren Cahill. Standing ovation at Rod Laver Arena. He beat the firing squad. 51 aces from Joachim Johansson, but Agassi rallies from that first set tiebreak loss. He moves on. 6-7, 7-6, 7-6, 6-4. Johansson applauding this crowd and certainly his opponent, and they in turn answer.
Dick, they played 288 points in this match, and Andre Agassi remarkably made just 13 unforced errors up against this barrage from the young Swede. The mental mettle of Agassi was in full evidence today.
His 13 unforced, impeccable play on the ground, and matched with a record 51 aces scored by his 22-year-old opponent. Well, here we are, the middle Sunday of this Grand Slam championship, and it's coming to a boil.
Oh, that's for sure.
We got some good stuff ahead this second week. Andre Agassi will meet Roger Federer in the quarterfinals.
Doesn't that sound good?
Oh, delicious. Steffi Graf. Come on, show somebody. There we go. A quick smile.
Ooh, big sigh, wasn't it? Oh, boy, what a day it was.
I think Agassi had a sigh or two himself. He looked to be in serious trouble going into that second set tiebreak. Glad you were with us live. We've got more to come. Serena Williams next.
We're glad you could stay up late and savor a classic 4-set victory by Andre Agassi on into the quarterfinals. He's with Pam Shriver.
Well, Chris, I just lost. Andre, we're on. Come here. Don't talk to your wife, Steffi Graf. First off, amazing adjustments you made in a tough match.
Yeah, I wasn't convinced any of my adjustments were working. You know, I mean, getting into the point was a hard thing to do against him. He was determined not to let it happen. So it wasn't easy. I just had to make sure that I sort of, you know, took advantage of the few opportunities I was going to get.
Well, it's going to be heating up. The weather and now Federer. What about those two things?
Yeah, well, you know, that's what I'm here for. So I've worked hard to come down here and give myself a look, and it's always been my belief that when you get to the quarters of a slam, anybody has a shot. You need to step up and play your best tennis when it matters the most, and somehow I get the feeling it's going to matter most on my next one.
I assume you've seen Roger play a couple sets here, matches. You picked up any little things, any new things?
Well, listen, I mean, the guy makes you play nearly a perfect match to win, so I'm not going out there with any other sort of expectation on myself than to play the best tennis I can play, let it fly, and hope that the ball falls for me.
You go back to Steffi, and we'll go back to Chris Fowler.
Great stuff.
All right, Pam, I'm joined by Mary Jo Fernandez and Brad Gilbert here. Interesting, you know, Johansson 51 aces. That is the all-time record since 1991, since they started counting. Interesting that the top three on that ace list all lost their matches. But Brad, Mary Jo, I have to give him credit. You did coach Andre for 8 years.
You're
you
not
saw a lot
give
of matches.
Him credit, are you?
I hate to do it. He did say tie-break score in the third set, 7-2. It was 7-3. He said fourth set score, 6-4. Right on.
That's why he's with us now.
Interesting to watch Andre make those adjustments, which did work better than he let on there.
You know what? That match was like Randy Johnson punching you out 23 times, but somehow he found a way to win 1-0. You know what? He was the antithesis of Nadal and Hewitt. He was old school, no fist pumping, just put his hard hat, he went to work. And in the tiebreakers, you know, especially in the third set, no aces. That's where the match changed for me in the third set tiebreaker. No aces for Johansson. Andre made the adjustment a little bit, started leaning on the returns a little bit. Match turned right there.
We heard Phil Jackson, another believer in Zen, tell Pam during the match, just kind of stay steady, stay solid, wait for the other guy's level to drop. Eventually a big server, the level has to come down a little bit from where Johansson was, and pick your spots.
Well, but when you're playing against Andre Agassi, you just know that he's mentally so tough. He's not going to give you anything. And I think what's a little bit underrated is his serve. I mean, his serve has really picked up in the last couple of years, and he holds his serve consistently. He only lost the serve twice.
Andre has a great hold game. Sometimes it's not about how big you serve. I remember in '95, Andre wanted to make it his mission to be first place on the tour in holding serve, and he did. He pitches a great game on his serve. A lot of times in these epic matches, he holds serve. I mean, today for him, he dropped serve twice, and I know he'd be a little annoyed about that, especially in the first set when he had him 4-2. I think that's when actually the match turned a little bit for Johansson, but he served a great match after that.
Now he's 3 wins away, and you heard him tell Pam, that's why I'm here. Not just to win those 3 matches, but specifically to take a swing at the guy who's at the top of the mountain right now, Roger Federer. He was happy when that draw came out. He's seeded 8, so he's got to take on Federer in the quarterfinals, Brett. We'll talk about that, but first let's check back with their meeting at the U.S. Open, which was pretty epic. It was played in some very tough conditions, rain, that things were called. After 3 sets with Federer up 2-1, they came back in the 4th set, very windy conditions, and Andre pulled it out.
It was like 40-mile-an-hour gusting winds that day. And in the 5th set, in the first game of the 5th set, and 3-all, Andre had a couple opportunities to break. He was a little unlucky, and then Federer breaks him here at 3-4 and a 5th on kind of a sloppy mistake from Andre. But I'm telling you, since that moment, he's been training for this shot. I mean, he's 9 sets from the finish line, and of all the guys in the top 10, in my opinion, Andre is the only one that relishes the opportunity of getting a piece of Federer.
And everybody else in the locker room rooting for Andre to take Federer down as well, so they don't have to face him. Federer has won the last 4 matchups, though, head-to-head. And you think Andre's going to have to move a lot better than he did this
I
match?
mean, he's going to have to do a lot more road work in that match because, I mean, in this match also, too, the guy would not move. Federer is going to, you know, he'll take some body blows. I mean, he'll take some body blows and throw some body blows. So Andre's going to have to be cracking the ball, and he's going to have to be moving himself.
All right, from the guy who currently sits on top to the guy who's trying to get back and get one more slam, we shift over now to Serena Williams, Mary Jo.